Now today we're going to be making some soda bread. So if you've never made bread before, this is a really good one to start with because it's so simple. I mean, there's only 4 ingredients and you haven't got all the mucking about that you normally have with bread where you've got to do loads of kneading and you've got to proof it so it doubles in size. With this recipe, you just bring it all together, put it in the oven and you cook it, and when it comes out, it looks delicious, and it's great with soup, or you could have it with your Irish stew on St Patrick's Day, or if you've got any left over the next day, just slice it up and toast it. It's wonderful. So give this one a go. So for making up this soda bread, I'm just going to go through the ingredients I'm going to use. Now I've got my flour here. This is 500 grams of plain flour. Now this is not bread flour. This is sort of bread, you know, the flour that you would use for maybe making cakes or short crust pastry. So 500 grams of plain flour. 2 teaspoons, now the teaspoon is a small one used for your cups of tea. 2 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda. 1 teaspoon of salt. And then we've got buttermilk. Now I'm going to use about 400 millilitres to 450 millilitres. Each one of these pots is just under 300, so probably use about 1.5 pots roughly. You just want to get the dough just about right. You know, you don't want it too dry and you don't want it too wet. So we'll sort of adjust the buttermilk to get it just right. So there's all the ingredients. Now what I'm going to do is get yourself a bowl and we're going to start mixing it up. Now just before I start mixing it all up in the bowl, it's a good idea to get your oven preheated because this dough is only going to take a couple of minutes or so to make up, and what you need to do is to place it into a preheated oven straight away. So I'm going to switch my oven on at 200 degrees Celsius, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 6. Once it's just about preheated, I'm going to mix up the dough. Now my oven's almost preheated, so I'm going to get on and make this dough. Now I've got my bowl there. I'm actually going to sieve my flour, but you don't have to. You can just put it straight in, but I do prefer to just to get it a little bit lighter. So I'll just sieve that, try and keep it all in the bowl. That's it, do it from a little height. That's it. I'm also going to put in bicarbonate of soda. Might as well just do that at the same time. There you go. Then we can pop in the salt. So now I've got all the sort of dry ingredients in the bowl. Just quickly give that a quick mix around like that. That's it. Now we're going to make a little well in the middle. So I just push that side. Oh, I'm losing a fair bit of the flour here. Let's be a bit more gentle. I need a bigger bowl, but it's the biggest one I've got at hand. So now with the buttermilk, I'm just going to pour that in. Now I'm going to pour that in the middle. I think I'll start with pretty much one of those. We are going to use a little bit more, but let's just start with that. We can always add a bit more in. So just going to bring the flour together a little bit. That's it. Now the thing you want to do is make sure you're very gentle with the mixture. You don't want to overdo it. That's it. Again, let's put a little bit more buttermilk. That's it. We'll see how we go. I've used about 1 1/3 pots at the moment, so we don't want to overdo it because you want it to be a slightly wet mixture, but not too wet, and definitely not dry. Just very gently kind of fold it over and it should start coming together. If you need to add a little bit more of the buttermilk, you can. And if you run out of buttermilk, you can always add just a little bit more milk. I think I'm going to start using my hands at this point because I think it'll be easier to kind of get that together. Just going to add a little bit more of that buttermilk. I think we've got the flour just about incorporated. So let's just bring this bowl aside, pick this up, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour. Then we can just tip that out. And we can just finish it off here. So I think we'll just make that into the shape we want. Give it a gentle squash down. That's it. I think I'll leave that just like that. Now what we can do next is get a baking tin. Now you could lay some parchment paper on there just to make sure it's not sticking. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of oil in there. That's it. Now let's just put that on there so you can see it. Now I'm also going to just cut across there. Let's do it this way. Like that. So you've got a little cross. It's not the best of knife actually, but anyway, that'll do us. They all look different, a little bit rustic. So I'm going to get the bread straight in the oven. Now as I say, it's preheated oven, temperature wise 200 degrees Celsius, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 6. Now we probably want to cook for about 40, maybe 45 minutes until basically the bread's done. You can always check it because you pull the bread out, tap it, and if it's a hollow sound, then it's cooked. Otherwise, you cook it a little bit longer. So leave that cooking and we'll come back round about 40 minutes time. Now I've had the bread cooking for just under 40 minutes. Look at that, that looks beautiful. Now we can do a quick test on this. If I just get a knife and, oh that sounds good. That's done, I'm pulling it out. Absolutely, that looks delicious. Let's go and put it on the table, have a look. Now I've just put mine on the table. Now obviously we've done the test. You can always, like just a few minutes before, test to make sure it all comes out nice and clean, which this is. The other little test you can do is grab it with a cloth and it should sound hollow. If it doesn't sound hollow, then just cook for a little bit longer. So I'm just going to place the bread on the wire rack. Leave that to cool down slightly. I mean, it is really nice when it's just come out the oven, but I'm just going to leave it a little bit and then we're going to break a piece off, see what's inside and try some. Now later on, I'm going to be serving this soda bread up with a really nice soup, so I don't want to destroy it too much. Now what I do want to do is just pull a chunk off. I might just kind of help it along a little bit, just so you can see what's inside. So let's turn it around, cut that up. That's it. And there you go. There's the soda bread. Now let me just try that. Obviously it is still warm at the moment. Let's just take a slice off of that. Nice crusty outside. And I'm going to serve mine up with a little bit of butter. Now this is salted butter. Bit of Lurpak, really nice. Just put a good bit of that on there like that. The thing is, you can actually add a little bit of butter in your bread mixture if you want, but I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this little bit with the butter on it as well. Lovely. Oh, that butter's lovely on there. And the fact the bread's still warm, oh, it's just absolutely delicious combination. You know, the cold butter, the warm bread, wonderful. I've got a little bit left there. I'm actually going to add a little bit of jam to that, just to really kind of top it up. I mean, obviously this is really good, just with a nice, simple Irish stew, or a bit of soup. But look at that, wonderful. Let me try it. Thanks for watching my videos. I'll see you again soon. The original Naked Chef.